Ladies and gentlemen, to our today's tutorial. I'm Michael Kaiser, Director of Product Management, Kathrein Solutions. Today I have a very interesting topic for you. We are talking on the one side about the smallest object in our RFID environmental, and on the other side, maybe on the biggest. The smallest is a transponder IC. Here in special the security IC, the security transponder, and on the other side about our Kathrein reader and the security features. So security with Kathrein reader and suitable RFID security transponder. Day by day you can see in the internet or in the magazines about the loss for the retail, for the supply chain, for counterfeit products, for fake products. There are fraud attempts for the goods delivered in the supply chain. Either they are fake from the beginning or they will be replaced during the supply chain from an original good to a fake good. The losses are big and increasing year by year. And in the past, it was more and more for the retail area, for clothing, but meanwhile, all other areas are also part of the hacking of the hackers. Today, I will give you some information about how to prevent this, what you can do this, and which of the Kathrein products fits best for this. When you use barcode, and this is one of the most popular auto ID identification systems, and you try to help this with counterfeiting and fraud attempts, then you will see that you have no chance to be really successful with. So it's not possible to recognize counterfeit objects. It's not possible to recognize authentication directly with the system itself, and it's easy to copy. So it's not difficult to copy, and that's why it makes it easy for the hackers to copy this identification object. On the other hand, if you have looked to RFID, it's possible with RFID transponders, it's possible with RFID systems to recognize counterfeit objects. This is because of the data can be handled in a cryptographic way. This means the data can be scrambled, the data can be hidden, and we have a lot of possibilities now with the cryptographics to see immediately if they're an original product or not. So you can detect authentication, and with the next slides I will show you how you can do this. And of course, it's also difficult to copy. This means the data on the chip is scrambled, and only the owner of the keys, as the owner of the chip, can handle this in the proper way. So you see, in our from our point of view, RFID is the best solution for anti-counterfeiting and fraud protection. One word in general for the transponders, you see here this transponder as an example. This is our vehicle transponder, our windshield transponder. All of our own transponders have the UCode DNA chip in, which is helpful to do all the security features, but you can use any other transponder with the UCode DNA chip to do security. So I stay in the next slides with this information only to give you an idea. This should be a UCode DNA chip, a UCode DNA transponder. Okay, let's talk about authentication. How does it work? And of course, authentication process should be easy to handle. Yeah, so the point is, if you have to add a more complex system, nobody uses, and the benefit of this authentication gets lost. The best would be to have authentication without access to a database. Of course, there are some systems in the market doing this, but you have to have always access to the database. The availability to the database is necessary, and this can be a limitation. You have to recognize counterfeiting attempts, and this should be counterfeit proof, the system, of course, and you should recognize attacking systems. So the best is immediately when a system will be attacked or hacked, then an error should arise. Some words about easy to handle. So day by day, thousands of RFID tags will be read along the supply chain, and each of these RFID transponders are read 100 times. Yeah, that's why it's important that you don't add another system which is in addition. The best is to use the standard supply chain process and do the cryptographic with this. Then it's the most easy and the best way. With the actual transponder on the market, you have only the chance to set in password. This means you can protect the data for overwriting and changing, but the data is clear and can be handled by everyone, and so it can also be copied. With the UCode DNA chip, you have the possibility that we have used this chip from NXP, and this can handle data encryption. This means we can scramble data. The data you can read out is not the original data, only with the key, with the original key, scrambled the data, you can decrypt the data and can see the raw data again. You can hide data. This is very important that only a part of the data is really visible. And also if you try to get data out of this, you see only the visible part, but not the invisible part. And of course, this chip can handle authentication data. And how does it work? I will show in the next slides. So again, we have here a typical scenario. On the one side, a Kathrein reader with a connected antenna. So you see the air interface in between. This is the part between the Kathrein antenna and the transponder antenna. On the right side, and a transponder with a UCode DNA. So this is the example with our windshield label, but keep in mind any other transponder with a UCode DNA chip does run also. The process starts with the authentication command and a so-called challenge. The challenge is a group of numbers and capitals which are transmitted via the air interface to the transponder. The transponder realizes this is an authentication command, takes this challenge, and the first what he do is to add some randomized data. So in total, he has a complete string starting with F5DD in our example, and followed by the challenge 11223344. The next, what the transponder chip is doing, this scrambles a complete string with a certain key, in our case key A, for example, and then we get such a scrambled string. You see the data from this string and the original data has nothing in common. This scrambled data will be transmitted again back by the air interface back to the reader. And of course, the reader has also to know which key has been handled, which key has been used, and then he can decrypt the data on the reader side. Again, he realizes this is the same payload, and you see it's a random number also. The random number is important to recognize any fraud attempts, any attacking attempts. This means when we send a second command, also with the same challenge, for example, then we see there is a new string with randomized data and challenge. The challenge stays the same. So randomized data has been changed. I scramble again this data, crypt again this data with the key A. It's a new string. The new string will transmit it with the key A. The reader can decrypt the data and see immediately we have the same challenge again, 11223344, and we have a new randomized number. This helps to recognize, is my system still alive? So if a hacker gets access to one of the scripted data, a scripted string, and each time when I send such an authenticate command, I would send out this encrypted data, he will realize that the payload may be the same if I use always the same challenge, but the randomized number stays also the same, and then he can realize and recognize there is something wrong, there should be a new set of randomized data, and if not, I can raise an alarm and can say something is wrong and can realize there's an attacking system trying to get the data. Okay, we have talked about authentication, and one of the most important thing is the key. You have to know which key is used. You have to know how the data are scrambled with which key. And for this, we have a very important thing. is the key handling. Yeah, of course, you can do in a brute force method. This means each time when you read the data on the transponder side, you get access to a database, collect the keys and try to recalculate something. But you see also with my description, it takes very long, and that's why it's also a very slow and long-terming application. And of course, you have to have always the availability of the networks. This means you have to get access to this network in each time of the system is working. In addition, we have a potential point of attacking. So a hacker can attack always when I send a transponder. I try to get a key, and this is a potential point that the hacker can attack this, can try to get data also if it's encrypted. But the more data they have, maybe they can try to get more information about the system, and that's why this is a potential point for attacking. A better way, and this is what we are doing with our Kathrein readers, we have a so-called HSM directly integrated in our readers. HSM stands for High Secure Memory Module. This means we can store the keys directly in the device, directly in the reader. So you have to at one time the keys to the reader in a secure environmental, in a closed environmental. This is a very secure process because you have no additional network, you have no additional point to get attacked from outside. That's why it's quite easy, quite simple to transmit once the keys inside of this HSM. The access is then very fast because each time when a transponder arrives, I can address directly to my internal HSM. I don't need a network. I don't need an external command and waiting for a reply. I do it internally and I can get immediately my feedback. Yes, this is the right data and how to handle it. And it's also very safe and protected because the decryption runs inside of the HSM. So also if you get access to the reader, you have no chance to go inside of the HSM to see what is going on, how the keys will be handled, how the keys will be used. And on the other side, it's also not possible to read out keys. If someone tried to do this, if someone tried to get access to this HSM and try to manipulate data or get data out of this HSM, then the HSM will be deleted by itself. This is a security feature that this cleans up all the keys, and immediately the keys are gone, of course. But on the other side, nobody, a thief can't get access to this. So keep in mind, the reader is somewhere on a gate or a gantry, and someone is stealing this device. Yes, you have always the guarantee nobody can get access to these keys. For the key handling itself, it's also very important, and you see when we have the keys inside the HSM, it's very fast. And if you have a population like this, for example, we have 10,000 keys to handle, and if you can handle all the 10,000 with one key, and this key get hacked, becomes known, then all the 10,000 transponders are destroyed. That's why it's more helpful to make groups. Yeah, so in our case, we do with 2 keys. We implement 2 keys for this population of 10,000. If one key gets known, if one key is hacked, you have a loss of 5,000. Of half of the transponders are destroyed. We have the possibility to add up to 72 keys in the HSM. This helps to build very small groups. So in our case, if you have 10,000 transponders, and we have 72 keys, we can break down to groups of 140 transponders. This means 1.3% of the complete population. So if one key gets known, if one key gets hacked, you have only a loss of 1.3% of the transponders. 140 transponders are lost. This is with our standard reader up to now, and we have a new reader in the market. This is a RU 7700. And in addition to a higher speed for decrypt and encryption, we have also the possibility to use a feature called key diversification. With this HSM2 of the RU 7700, we have really now the possibility to address each of these 10,000 transponders a unique key. So doesn't matter how big the population is, you can do a calculation inside of the HSM that you know exactly for this transponder I have this key, and you can decrypt the data with a unique key. So this makes the security very robust and very improved, because then you have really the guarantee if one key is hacked, if one key gets known, only one transponder, only one unit is lost. These are the features for the key diversification, and let's come to the summary. You have seen day by day, year by year, a loss in the supply chain is big. Millions and millions of euro get lost every year because of counterfeit products. In the past, it was more and more retail, but you see increasingly all other areas like tolling, payment, and other things, other goods will be attacked also by the hacker. With barcode, you have no chance to build up really such a reliable system to recognize counterfeit products. And you have seen with the security transponders and with the Kathrein RFID readers, you can increase the security enormously. So with the HSM built in, you can do a network-independent authentication of goods and objects. We can store the keys inside the HSM. You can use them very efficient. With the new HSM2 built in the RU 7700, we have another increasing security feature where we have for each transponder a unique key. This key diversification is really maybe the key fact to make the system really reliable for all kind of security application. So you see the hacker on the rise, and with the Kathrein RFID readers and the right security transponders, you have the answer to such attacks. I hope you have seen and learned a lot about this security feature. You see it's already available, it's already in the market. So feel free to contact us to talk with us about the security feature, also about security transponder. If you have a special need for this, we can guide you to find out the best transponder for this, or if you have already such a transponder, we can do a benchmark and can see on the one side what is the security doing, and on the other side what is the read rate doing to build up a 100% running system. So feel free to contact us. Many thanks for your attention, and see you soon. Bye bye.